Hey guys, it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels.
Hey, and today we're going to talk about the big question everybody asks: how much cash should I bring on my cruise?
So everybody has a different budget, and whether you have a lot of money or a little money, a concern is always how much money should we bring.
Yeah.
And we'll start out by saying that everybody's budget, of course, is a little bit different. It's going to depend on how many sailing days you have. It's going to depend on where you're going.
And what you anticipate you're going to need cash for.
Right.
Because generally speaking, when you go on a cruise, everything is associated with your charge card, your sail and sign card. That's what you use to purchase. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I bring cash because that's how I fund my ship card.
And I don't think that's a great idea, but if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, people don't want to come home to a big
love
old
ya.
bill, but boy, that really...
Well, some people I think that do the cash don't have a credit card.
Yeah, right. But
So
that takes
that's
a
the
lot of
concern.
discipline.
It takes a lot of
in my
discipline
book.
and a lot of cash.
Yeah, to really say, this is only what I'm going to be spending money on, and I know that the $600 I put in cash on my account, that is going to cover, that's it.
So the first thing you need to think about is creating a cash budget sheet.
Right, and here's an example of what we use in terms of budgeting cash. And of course, me filling those little envelopes. I have an envelope
Right.
for every category.
And that's what we end up doing. Now, some things that you'll be needing to think about when you're creating your budget sheet is, are you driving to the cruise or are you flying to the cruise? Because I know on our budget sheet, we don't budget for gas.
Right.
Right? But if you're driving, you might want to budget some cash for the gas station, depending on whether you're going to need to fill up
Right.
or not.
Or tolls.
Or
Or do you have to pay
tolls.
tolls? Right.
Now, I know that when speaking of, getting ready and leaving and that, we always budget for the parking
Right.
at the
airport.
the airport. We budget food because I'm always hungry.
Right. We have, of course, the first day travel envelope, and that covers any tips for assistance that I might need at the airport.
Tips.
For a wheelchair assist. That covers a snack, coffee, a donut, a McMuffin, whatever's happening.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, before we board the plane. So there's first day travel, and it also, that envelope includes if we're traveling that same day to the port, and a tip for the luggage porters when we get there.
Right.
I always have cash in my pocket here for tipping.
Now, what else? What else might we have to have on that budget sheet?
Well, let's say we're not flying in the same day.
Okay.
Okay, because a lot of times we live in upstate New York, but we cruise out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale or whatever, and we have
Seattle.
right, or Seattle. We did Alaska, and we have a hotel stay the night
Hoping
before.
for Hawaii soon.
Oh, I better start those envelopes now. But if there's if there's a hotel involved, then maybe you want some tip money for, let's say, vending machine purchases.
Well, that wouldn't be tip money.
But again,
vending machine.
I'm
maybe
sorry,
food,
but that's
right?
that's. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say tip money. Envelope money.
Right.
Let me revert
Envelope
that to
money, yeah.
envelope money. I was thinking about the maids when I was talking about that. Someone who's doing your room.
People tip maids still?
I think so.
We don't tip
you
our
ne-
maids.
Well, you
Sorry.
never know when something happens and you call down to the desk.
Oh, like spilling my drink all over the
yes,
floor?
or this something happened and can you send this up and can I get this, and oh, no problem sir, I'll send someone right up. whatever. Is the hotel delivering something to your room? Is there room service for food? There's a tip. Money for the vending machine. You and Dave were going to do a run down to the Dunkin' Donuts to get coffee and whatever.
Dave, if you're watching, I've already told Frank that you and I will be going to Dunkin' Donuts when we get up the next morning when we're on the group cruise. So please be prepared. Bring your good walking shoes.
So there's again money in the envelope for the hotel day. But then you're done, you check out, and you've called you got your car service. Maybe you're taking a taxi.
Yeah.
Money for the taxi.
Right.
So you're going to need that transportation cash.
Now, if you're concerned about money in the cruise port, or you don't want to give your credit card, let's say, to the ship itself,
right.
Most cruise ports accept U.S. currency, and if you don't feel comfortable using your credit card,
and a lot of people don't.
Right?
A lot of people do not want to use their credit card in a foreign port.
Right.
There's I'm not using my credit card in Mexico or here and there. Okay, then don't. But
well, this is why we're going to put that suggestion out there. We always take 2 credit cards with us. One is only attached to the ship account, and the other one is in case of an emergency, or in case I need a new ring, or in case we want to buy something that's a little bit more extravagant than what we've brought cash for, right?
We don't want that jewelry purchase to in any way tie itself to what's happening on the cruise ship on that card.
Now, speaking in reference to ports, we always schedule in a little bit of do-re-mi for lunch in case we want to have lunch. Souvenirs, taxis. Some of the beaches charge fees.
Right.
Beaches and parking fees. Maybe we've rented a car and we're going to need to.
I know there's an excursion where maybe get to the top of a mountain for some beautiful scenery and a view. You need transportation to get up there.
Right.
And that's going to cost you, so you need that cash envelope.
Now, as far as the ship is concerned, what we plan for is we plan for usually extra tips on the ship, right?
Yeah.
For crew, special people.
Yeah, I mean, we're not wandering around the ship just throwing money around like Rockefeller.
So generally on a 7-day cruise, let's give them a generality. So for us on a 7-day cruise, what we feel comfortable doing is we feel comfortable putting $25 in a thank you note to give to our room steward the first day.
And say thank you for all the hard work we know you're going to be doing and how you're going to be taking care of us.
And then at the end of the cruise,
if he's done that,
or
she's done that,
because we don't want to be sexist,
right?
We give them an additional $25 in a thank you note saying thank you for making our cruise so special. In addition to that, we always bring a few $5 bills or a couple singles.
Again, we always travel with the thank you cards, and we fill each card with a general thank you for great service and a $5 bill. And again, we seal it. It has no one's name on it. But if something happens on board the ship, and I'm talking above and beyond in great service, then we're going to hand a card to that crew member. And the thank you card, it takes the awkwardness out of just pulling out cash and handing a crew member cash. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of...
And also, I want to say this because it was brought up when we talked about tipping before, is in the restaurants, if you tip somebody cash, right?
Yes.
Because I did this on one of our cruises, and I don't think you even realize I did it because I just have it and I just go, whoop. We were treated so special for your dinner, and they went the waitress, and I'm not even sure if that's the right term for her,
hostess.
But no, when they moved us, and then
dinner, she was awesome.
She was awesome.
Yes.
I gave her
our server was great.
The card, the thank you card with the tip in it. Now, why this is so important is because you don't realize, but when you're tipping these people, and you just hand them cash, it has to go in a general tip jar.
Right.
And that's split amongst everybody.
Yeah.
So since it was given to her in a card, she didn't open it until she got back, and she got to keep the money.
Yeah.
And she thanked me later on for doing
Right.
that because, you know,
So,
she didn't have to share.
If you're in the main dining room or you're in a specialty restaurant and you decide to leave $10 on the table as a tip, which you don't have to, but you decide to because you love your servers. Oh my God, they were awesome. That cash money, they have to put in that
Right.
community pot.
Right. Now, generally, it's going to depend on the cruise line that you're sailing on, but most of the cruise lines have adopted this as a policy.
Now, we want to say after all of this, you know, handing a card here and handing a tip there and whatever, because, you know, over here in the Americas, it's all about tipping. But we want to say that you've already paid your gratuities. Okay, your gratuities have already been charged to your account while you're on the cruise.
So if you've booked your cruise and you are a Canadian resident or a U.S. resident, you see them.
Right.
Okay? If you are from, so they'll be listed separately. If you are from Australia or from the UK or parts of Europe, you don't generally see that the
item
tips
listed.
are being charged, but you're paying a higher fee
Right.
for your cruise than what we pay because we're paying our gratuity separately.
Right. And a lot of times we will prepay our gratuities
So that we don't have a bill.
Yeah, from home before we set sail. And we'll say, we'll call our friend at cruises.com and say, hey, give us the number on the gratuities because we've saved enough. We can pay it right now from home, and that's one less charge on our ship account.
Now, speaking of the ships and money for your envelopes, we always have an envelope for gambling, right? Because I like to play the slots or the tables, and we allot ourselves so much money per day of the cruise, and it's not to say that you have to be strict on if you've allotted $50 a day, that's all you're going to do is $50 a day, or you have to go through it. But no, you're not letting me get to the point. My point is that there have been occasions where I haven't gone the first day or the second day, but I've used that other nights, right? So I've said, well,
You rolled it over?
I'm just going to roll it over and I am going to just have myself a hog wild night and spend it all in that one night. Or maybe, you know, there have been cases where I haven't spent it all, right? And I just brought home a little bit.
Oh, I find that very hard to believe. Because in most cases, you have spent it and you're looking to spend mine. Because I'm like, yeah, I put $20 in a machine, I'm done for the week. And
You're
you're
so
like,
boring.
You're like, oh my God, but you have all this money every day. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Can I borrow some of it?
So you also, if you're a bingo player, want to allot bingo money, possibly. But I know that we have that on the sheet, but a lot of the cruise lines now are going toward you can't pay cash for the bingo. But we always say if you allot yourself that money, you can throw it on your account.
Right.
And then you don't have to worry
I know.
about
Well,
that.
That one year, I won $600 on a slot machine at the casino, and you took it down to guest services
Right.
and said, here you go. Please put $600, I have cash, onto our account. Thank you.
Now you might want to buy some gifts in the shops on the ship. So you might want to allot some cash to pay on your account for that.
Right.
Also, I know we generally don't tip our bartenders as much as Dave and Darlene
Right.
do, but Dave and Darlene actually budget out a certain amount of money that they're going to tip their bartenders.
Right, because, you know, and they usually buy the drinks package, again, of which they've already paid their gratuities on that. But when they order their drinks, you know, like a lot of people who know how it works at the bars, when you want that fast service and you want that bartender to know exactly how you like your drinks. And when you're walking into that bar and that drink is waiting for you, because you've got that great bartender, of course you're slipping that bartender some extra cash because you want that quick service and that great drink. And it's worth it.
Now, another thing that you might need a little cash for is your transportation, right? And that's going to be for your travel days. We kind of touched on that a little bit. And it's basically the airport luggage porters, the luggage porters at the port. If you're being assisted in your wheelchair, it's always nice to give them a boost.
That's right, because we always have a luggage porter in the terminal, and they get their little trolley. They gathered up our stuff and Dave and Darlene's stuff, and they got us right to customs. Of course they can only go to a certain point in the terminal, but yep, the cash comes out of my pocket. I give the silent handshake, slip them the money, and wish them a happy day.
Your taxi and car service fees and tips. I know we put our fee for it right on our card, but we always like to tip in cash. And if you have any snacks or meals that you're going to be eating while you're at the airport on your travel home.
Yeah, at the airport we ate at a restaurant. We ate. What did we eat at? What was it called?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it awful?
Doesn't matter. They don't care.
But we ate at a restaurant in the airport. Chili's. We ate at Chili's.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
It was sit-down lunch because we were at the airport for a while. And again, you don't want to charge it. Use your credit card. Then you're going to need that little cash envelope. So we hope that we've helped you out, that if you are a cash person, because you don't like credit card bills, and you kind of need to figure out exactly what you should be bringing, we hope that we've helped you out and answered some of those questions.
We want to remind everybody that the exact amount is going to depend on each individual person.
That's right.
So we can't give you exact numbers.
That's right. It's a personal choice.
Right, and you'll be able to figure it out by just watching this video and following along with what we pay for, and you're going to decide what you're going to need to pay for and what you're not. And you'll know probably all that before you go away. So plan ahead.
Yeah, if people who are like, oh, I'm not paying those crazy prices at the airport for food. We're going to make sure we eat here before we get there. I mean, you know how you are. You know how you travel. You know what you will spend money on that you think is worth it and what you won't. Everyone's different.
Now, is your cash envelope form on Facebook?
Yes, all my forms are on the Cruising with Wheels Facebook page. Just go there, click on Photos, and select the album entitled Travel Forms.
Now, I'm trying to figure out how we can attach it so they'll be downloadable, but we haven't been able to figure that out yet. So as soon as I figure that out, I'll let you all know.
Right.
But in the description of this video, I will have a link directly to the photo album that the travel forms are in.
Awesome.
So,
thank you for joining us. We've helped you out a bit with this video, and we'll be back with other exciting videos.
But until next time, we want to remind everybody to always
travel safe
and cruise often.